what we're watching now is just a beautiful development of this young man and what he is doing now and making you feel. I mean, look at yesterday. I'm sorry, on Saturday. The other thing that stood out to me that I absolutely loved was the pocket presence. They haven't had a young guy with that kind of pocket presence since Marino. Marino would slide one way, slide another, buy himself some time. You watched him, it was football tango. It was boom, 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 boom. I mean, it was beautiful, dude. He knew eyes up, eyes looking and and manipulating the pocket and moving with it and finding a hole in the pocket to make a throw. I mean, he did that like I want to say like 3 times in the game on Saturday night. And how important is that? You got a young line that's developing. They're not going to be perfect. There are things that are going to happen. And one of the things that I talked about that for me is the sign of a real franchise quarterback is, can you play in chaos? Can you play when the pocket breaks down? Can you play when pressure forces you to do something else? Are you going to now lose your mind and your eyes aren't going to be on the field and now you're on the pass rush and you're trying to avoid it and run like running quarterbacks do? Or can you maintain your vision and use your periphery to move away from the pressure? And he's done that a couple times already in the first 2 games. And that's not something you teach. 17 could never do that. He still can't do that. And he still can't play in chaos either. Everything has to be scripted and go the way it's scripted. Once you're off script, he's done. Kind of like Lamar Jackson. Done. They got to now run. They got to do whatever, throw the ball away, but they're flustered at that point because their mind can't handle that next level. And that's what Mahomes does. That's what Drew Brees does. That's what Tom Brady's done. That's what Dan Marino did. That's what John Elway does. All the great quarterbacks have that it factor that when things are breaking down and you know you're playing with your third left tackle and you're manipulating the coverages and you're trying to, trying to get passes off as quick as possible to help your offensive line and all that kind of stuff and adjust, that's what you need. And that's what you have in this young man. I can already tell you that he's that kind of cat. And then the accuracy, the ball placement, all of those things. And his arm, that's the other thing that I had to hear all of, like, oh, his arm's not that. Yeah, he doesn't have a cannon. Okay, I get it. A howitzer, right, is what they. Now, he doesn't have an absolute ginormous arm, but his arm is more than good enough to make any throw you need on the field. And especially when you have timing, when you have anticipation, those things help you out in making any play on the football field. It doesn't really matter because you're seeing things develop before they actually develop. That throw he threw to Gesicki down the seam, that's a throw you got to see ahead of time because you're throwing it between 3 guys. Like if they would have shown like the proper angle for that, you would see that he's throwing through a couple of windows there, which is impressive because he is watching where the play is going to end up, and that's where he's putting it in a spot where Gesicki's going to be. When you have that in your arsenal, when you have that in your vision, you're ahead of most quarterbacks that are coming into this league because most guys cannot do that. Most guys cannot see that. They don't have that football foresight. In other words, if we could call it that, which is not really what it is, but, in a way. And so this is why I love what's been going on with the development of Tua, because there's an F load of people that are eating crow right now because you overreacted. Because you made a decision on a person that has been a baller at all levels, came off the bench and won a national championship for Alabama, has proven that he can play in high pressure situations in the best football league in college football. And then you assume that his skill sets don't translate to this one. You know, because I remember my favorite line from some of you lazy people out there are, well, no, he plays with a lot of talent. So what is that? Who cares about that, dude? You think he's the last quarterback to play with great talent? Tons of quarterbacks, but can you make the plays? And he showed you that plenty of times at Alabama. Look, the only thing I've ever been concerned about with the kid is the injury history. That's it.